everything. Q, this very good like captain that was around from TI5.
Yeah.
For CDEC, he pretty much like was their shining star to make them develop into that one. Then they have OP, his very comfortable mid laner. He plays his own like signature kind of style heroes. He was very famous for his Tinker and his Shadow Fiend, and then when Lina started getting popular, he was playing that one super well. Just very good at all that. Then of course, I mean, I don't really.
He does need an introduction.
We'll say Burning, of course.
Yeah.
Burning. He kind of like changed his style coming into this thing. Like his adjustment into 7.0, I thought was very good. And then since then, he's been playing a lot more aggressive. He used to be looked at as this like kind of very heavy like farmer, but with this team, he plays much more of like the aggressor, and I really liked him into that momentum. Okay. And then bo3. I mean, this guy, the Monkey King God for a while. His movement around the map with Earth Spirit as well was like impeccable, and his Ricky too. So those guys, they have just like some very comfort between all of them. But that being said, all their heroes got heavily hit, and they're playing versus a very good team that understands how to play versus these guys. Yeah,
and you can just see there the last 5 matches have not necessarily been fantastic. A recent matchup versus EG did look like a split series as well. But keep your eyes on those heroes because it is draft time, and we'll see if any of them do crop up again. You do see some of the strengths and weaknesses cropping up. But here we go. I'll jump in, throw you guys the talking stick, and we've already got Puck and Night Stalker showing up.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the Night Stalker and the Puck are the biggest ones that we kind of expected, especially EG picking the Puck. And I think a lot of the Chinese scene is just heavily favoring this Night Stalker. It's just incredibly good, and it can be run as like offlaner and support, mostly as like the 4 support, but it just puts so much pressure and it gives you such a like big vision kind of into the mid game.
I'd say that's the 4 of the patch right now. Is definitely Night Stalker. He's the one that's going to make the biggest splash. He's decent at roaming, good at laning.
Clockwork is also a very good 4 right now.
Yeah.
Like Clockwork and Night Stalker. I would say Clockwork in certain areas, and you know, if you want a Shadow Fiend, obviously Clockwork would be really good for that, giving him the souls, and I think that's a hero that certain teams would want to pick in the first phase as well.
How do you feel about this Death Prophet ban in the first 2?
I think even yesterday there were some games. Who was it? I think it was OG that banned Death Prophet in the first phase as well. Like it's a kind of, I'm not sure about the hero. Like the hero itself in certain games can be very impactful, but some games he's like she doesn't do a lot.
It's like this. They were doing it at Manila, right? They did the Death Prophet Slaughter kind of combo and the amplification from the Corrosive Haze with the Death Prophet and just having like that kind of lockdown from it. It seemed like NP was actually the ones who started banning out the Death Prophet in like the first 2 a lot of the games versus IG, and it's like people kind of just took that from them and are starting to understand. Maybe some inside info from some other scrims and whatnot too.
Yeah,
but
maybe
she's good. It just depends on what build you go. You have to go something like fairly mana heavy and a little tanky, and I mean, if you combo with a little disable, her silence has huge uptime.
Yeah.
There's some really good situations where she thrives.
The Ember pick here, that's rather strange for me.
Agreed.
Like going for the Ember this early, and Ember doesn't have much apparent synergy with the Night Stalker for now. So that's kind of like maybe it's just a pick that's good against the Puck, because if you root him, he can't phase shift.
Yeah.
But still very unsure about the Ember Spirit right now, because Ember Spirit, if you pick him and he has a bad lane, sometimes the hero doesn't like do a lot in the game.
And they're picking it versus Puck, who like pretty much dominates that mid lane, and then also Crystal Maiden has an already built-in root, so they can break the shield.
At the Vans, they're taking out the Drow Ranger. That hero could make life tough for Ember if he's going up against the Puck. I mean, even without the Drow, the matchup is pretty hard for Ember. It's not easy.
I mean, I'm definitely worried about the matchup, but I feel like Ember's early rotations are always strong as well. You just you get 6 and you can actually help so much in any lane.
He's the mid hero where I feel like sometimes you lose your lane, but you can still make up for it by rotations.
It's like that mobility. They both kind of have that mobility aspect where they can move from the lane, but Puck is going to not really have to too much if he doesn't want to, because he's going to be owning that lane.
It's like 3 offlane bans now for EG here.
They're banning out the hero. Like Darkseer is pretty obvious, very good with the Ember and Night Stalker. Very good synergy with the Iron Shell. And Enigma, like another solid offlaner that IG sometimes like to run. And I think Enigma as a hero, if you don't have anything to cancel the black hole in mid to late game, it's very difficult to fight Enigma.
Yeah. So they're probably looking for Zai's hero here, trying to hide the rest of their picks up. Good pairings with Crystal Maiden are like the Clockwork and whatnot, but Clockwork's not the greatest versus Ember Night Stalker. Still a possibility.
It's like they've got some homework there. Draft prep.
own the universe.
Is there any degree of surprise that IO has been in every single ban? Like
He's a very
that we've
strong
seen,
hero.
even though there was a bit of a change to him.
I mean, it's very. He did receive a nerf, but then again, the hero is still very suitable for the meta
Yeah,
because there's been so much emphasis on the mid lane, and IO is one of the most perfect supports to actually always help the mid lane.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's like the Wisp, the IO and the Shrine Protector, they're just these lane punishers, lane dominators now.
Yeah.
Like with the addition of the new runes and everything, the 4 bounty runes. It used to be the way to play against IO is like, okay, you can test the river runes, but now you can't because you can test the river rune, he goes and gets a bounty rune and he still can pressure lanes. The Sanking pick, this is really strong with the Crystal Maiden pairing. They actually can still have like variety in their draft too. You don't really know exactly where everybody's going to go, and they have like even more lockdown to deal with this Ember Spirit and lots of team fight.
Could be Puck off lane, could be Puck mid, could be Sanking off lane, could be Sanking support.
Yeah. Tons of variety.
Whew.
I think IG's okay with the Sanking pick though, because Night Stalker can definitely help maneuver around him. And when in team fight setups, just fly in the air spot where the Sanking isn't going. They still rely on Legion Commander here.
Yeah, you talked about it, Fogged. You talked about it.
That's like the other XXS hero that he was playing a lot, and since Magnus was banned, this is his other big like staple one.
It's so good this game because all the lockdowns are kind of weak. Like they're effective lockdowns against Ember, but if it's just a Frostbite or a Silence or something like that, he can remove the debuff.
You take away my Magnus, I'll take LC.
And it's like a straight lockdown too. Like if he's able to actually, if they get like the puck in the root and the Legion's able to blink in and duel him, like we've seen how obnoxious these pucks actually are in these games, like especially Sumail. They're so, they just move around the fight super easily and they're hard to be able to kill them, and that's like a straight lockdown.
It's definitely hard against Night Stalker though, because if he ever gets Silence, he's just dead every time, if he hasn't farmed up enough items. So
he'll definitely rush a Yules, like blink Yules or something on this puck, this game.
Lifestealer. Pretty good here. Very good synergy with, he has 2 vehicles, Puck and Sanking, and it's pretty good against the enemy heroes. It's a hero that if you were to leave him alone, he'll be fine. Like you guys discussed before, RTZ is going to be probably left alone.
Yeah.
And Lifestealer is one of the heroes that you can do okay. Your teammates going to like, they're probably going to jungle the CM, get her levels, and Sanking's going to be doing his roaming. It allows a lot of freedom for the supports.
And there's not a lot of carries that are actually okay against Legion and lane, but Lifestealer is probably one of them.
Yeah.
That's the other one I think I like is probably Bristleback. I know Envy likes it a lot. Bristleback does okay against a lot of the offlaners.
But they probably don't want to draft it because Legion's in the game, and that's usually banned when people draft Bristle.
Yeah, you obviously turning him to get the duel.
Yeah.
You get his face pointing toward you. The Lifestealer though is, I like the Winter touched upon, like he's self-sustaining in a way. And with Arcane Aura as well, you can even do that more. You can abuse your rage and use your open wounds even more in the laning phase.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing for the Lifestealer is he has a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
Like one thing about Lifestealer, sometimes you look at the teams that pick him and they forget to, or they did not prioritize picking him vehicles, then the hero doesn't do as much. I think it's really important that you have like a Puck or Storm or Bat Rider, something like that. It
still kind of saves their like where their lanes are going to go too. Like you still don't know if this Puck or the Sanking is off lane. You're starting to get kind of maybe a feeling of it, but you don't know exactly which one's going to go where.
I mean, they're going for the Dazzle. Dazzle is really good against Lifestealer. Single target, focus hero, can easily grave and save a hero.
What if they just like axe last pick on EG's side though?
Could be possible. It's pretty good against what the enemy has right now. They have 3 melee heroes. X counters. Dazzle, pretty good against Ember. Sanking could be support.
Yeah.
But then if you do the X, the only thing I might be worried is you have only Lifestealer as your like damage, your physical damage hero.
And carry really, it'd be a little all in on that.
And I know EG doesn't really like to run like Lifestealer single core. They usually pair him up with someone that can deal damage, but I wouldn't rule it out completely because X is still really good here for them.
10 seconds remaining.
I'd be surprised if it's not banned out.
That's the thought process that they're going through right now. Last ban for IG.
Dazzle has some strengths, but as soon as Grave gets hard countered, he feels like such a bad hero in a lot of cases.
10 seconds remaining.
So, they actually so they don't have any like straight up reliable stun. That's a pretty good ban.
I guess I thought they might not pick it because of Duel and Ember and Night Stalker Silence, but they don't want to mess around with it. I guess with Dazzle it's really tough too because Storm will always aim for Dazzle.
I mean, then again, it's a really good hero with the Lifestealer, like I mentioned, the vehicles.
Yeah.
And Puck could still be an offlaner for them.
And this is such a good place for EG to be because they banned Razor, which is one of the best 1v1 heroes. It counters a lot, so now they can just wait to pick their last hero. They get the guaranteed counter pick most likely if Ember happens to go safe lane or something.
It's really annoying for Lifestealer to go up against Razor, so pretty solid.
They do go for instant pick Earthshaker.
Okay. So
Off lane.
Earthshakers, they're off lane. Puck mid.
Puck mid for Sumail.
It's good. It's a good matchup. I think it was Earthshaker is a good pick. It's a lot of melee heroes. Fissure
Yeah.
block will be good. Chain
As Fissure
stuns.
gets even longer now.
Yeah,
if you want.
If you want to, I think most people take the echo damage
Okay.
because it's like it's a lot of damage that gets added. But
I'm excited. Now, with
Okay.
the draft, you've got it in your faces, you know. You gave EG the edge before we saw the draft. You did, however, state, in fact, all of you, IG's draft would help influence your decision-making. What do you think, then? Prediction for our first game. It happened.
I kind of like EG more before the game, but right now they have like a single core lifestealer. I'm not so sure about it. But then again, when I look at IG's lineup, I'm also not too sure about it.
Ooh,
so I'll
okay.
stick to EG.
Seeds of doubt have been cast from that draft for winter.
I like the EG draft. I think they're going to make it work. They've got, CM Aura. All
Yeah.
the heroes really need mana. I think they'll scale fairly well. Puck's going to do just fine. It's Sumail. He'll be practically a carry. I think confident with EG.
Panel Curse, yeah, I'm also really liking EG's. I'm not crazy too much about like Earthshaker, but he's gonna be able to do good in the lane. I think the big thing is their lane. The rotations from the CM and the Sand King, I think are gonna be the big thing. Just being able to gank any of the lanes. I think that's gonna be their big.
Perfect stuff. All right then, so EG have besotted our analyst desk. We'll see if the casters are familiar. Let's check them out though. On the menu tonight, it is a lovely, lovely pasta dish. It's called tabini.
Does that mean like Merlini is my sauce
I would eat
and
that.
I'm the pasta? Either way.
I don't like thinking of it that way, Toby.
Yeah.
Way to start off with
this
cast.
game is our Parmesan cheese. Let's go into the game. It's EG versus IG. As the panel, they're all leaning towards EG for the winner of this draft. I don't know about you, man, but I find it very difficult to go against a troll warlord. The lockdown of a Legion Commander, not to mention OP on that Ember Spirit, should be having himself, even though his laning phase won't be great, he should still have a great space in the team fights to come.
Their team fight's terrible though, Toby.
He'll have space though.
It's as terrible as Tobini would taste in my mind.
It does sound like a horrendous dish.
If you just pretend it's like a different language or like from a different culture and not English, then it sounds a lot better. What it's like, Tobini, the exotic dish from the Galapagos Islands.
It's like someone who tried to put mango with like pasta and thought that was a really good idea.
But if it's exotic, you don't know until you try it.
Yeah, and then you can spit it out and you're like, you know what, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. Let's just retreat. Oh, Bobica. Sumail. Wait, hang on. Hold the phone. Check who's actually playing what here.
Yeah, they swapped.
Yeah, they swapped. So Sumail is playing the Earthshaker. Universe is playing the Puck. And this is actually a mid Earthshaker, which is coming out from EG.
Versus Ember, that's not bad, I would say, for Sumail.
You know, it has been a while since I've seen damage build style Earthshaker. The last person is actually someone who's attending this event, Dendy, is the one that always sits in my mind for that big damage dealing Earthshaker.
Miracle played it too, at Star Series.
Sure.
So it's not super uncommon. He will actually go for Fissure level 1. If you get Enchant level 1, it helps with your last hitting, but you can't take out the Flame Guard. So he likely waited until he saw what OP skilled up. And if we're closer to, you might as well just skill
Real
Enchant.
trouble on the Legion Commander, Arteezy. Well, he's still got his open wounds available, going to slow down XXS, but thanks to the PMS, he'll be able to survive.
Some players think that you shouldn't be able to swap in competitive, just for added shenanigans like this. But if it's in the game, you might as well use it.
Yeah,
I don't think players do it enough.
it's definitely a surprise play. Because there's very few teams, in fact, I don't think there'll be any team that would say, hey, yeah, we're definitely assuming this will be a mid-ES. That just doesn't happen. And then you can have a very elusive off-laner. You get the Puck, and it's difficult to impossible for IG to actually kill off Universe. As long as he's got Orb up, he can just jump himself away. Until Crippling Fear will arrive for Bobica, all they can do is Void. No Poison Touch leveled up here for Q. So he's not looking for the harassment to Puck that way either. But both offlaners are having a very hard time. Puck at 0-0, and Legion Commander, she has managed to find 4, but now has to go jungle.
Universe is also almost out of regen. I'm actually very surprised Q just didn't get 1 point of Poison Touch. As soon as he uses Phase Shift, that's a lot of damage that Puck, a low armor hero, cannot do very well versus. So 1-1-1 build coming out from Sumail. did not bother popping the Flame Guard because it is a level 2 Flame Guard.
This will do
They'll get there eventually.
Ooh, and a reach.
Yeah, another good reason to spam out. So OP in a bit of unfamiliar territory going up against the Earthshaker. But all the lanes are starting to just settle themselves down a little bit. So RT's got all the space in the world because XSS has gone back to base, so is Puck. So it's very mirror matchup. But who do you feel is actually getting the advantage here? Like, does any team really... Okay, he really just keeps going.
He's actually owning him.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as he gets level 2 enchant, it hurts a lot. Poor man's shield is good versus like the range heroes that don't hit very hard, but versus a hero like Earthshaker who hits for like upwards of like 150 a hit, that poor man's shield doesn't block that much. So OP actually forced to go for the Sleight of Fist to get some extra last hits in the mid lane.
How does that actually synergize too with WAN, EG, the fissure from Samael? Misses its target, but the Frostbite, Burrow Strike, Ember Spirit has no level 6, so that is first blood going the way of Samael. But how's his damage talent actually synergized with the Chant Totem? Because he can get plus 50 if he wants it.
It doesn't, I mean, it's really hard, but you don't get the scaling. A lot of players do take the strength. Even on Support Shaker, you take the 10 strength, generally because it's too much HP to give up. But I think on Core Shaker, it's a no-brainer because it gets multiplied by... You can quad dip in it pretty much, so, or double dip, 400%. So,
and OP is just getting hammered in the mid.
I didn't realize that this matchup was so bad for Ember.
Yeah,
because he can't come up to last state creeps. Every time he comes up, he just enchants, and you can interrupt it with the Searing Chains, but he doesn't have it leveled up, and there's just not that much he can do anymore.
And with this lineup of IG, there's no way to really help him out.
I think this might be only possible, though, because he does have a CM on his team. I think without the CM, he wouldn't be able to constantly spam enchant. And he's even forced to go for the bottle and the infused raindrop for extra mana regen, just so he can constantly cast that 40 mana enchant.
Night Stalker's doing his rotation around. He found the 4-minute bounty room while Zai is waiting for a kill in mid. And Invis rune picked up at the 4-minute mark. Some fun is opening, yeah. Crits in the neighborhood as well. bo3 really wants to run forward, but he's right on top of a Radiant Observer ward. So EG have a choice now. They know exactly what they're up against, and they are not going to go on anything. In fact, it's Universe behind that tier 1 tower that escapes from burning. But the mid engagement finally kicks in. It's on top of Samael. Zai misses the Burrow Strike. Really need to hit him that one. XXS will also arrive. No press the attack. Just TP is in and actually does it for naught until EG want to reinitiate.
It's a lot of misspells. 2 misstuns are already coming out from the mid lane. And looks like RTZ is getting the easiest lane with the LC completely jungling now with the Iron Talon. And Puck, is he going to TP back to the top to pressure the troll? I would be surprised if he didn't. Yep, so he's already back up top. So safe laner definitely goes away with EG. Uncontested is way better, especially with the deny changes. Yeah, but LC's coming back. He realizes that, yeah, this is not a good thing for you, IG.
Oh, Samael, no. Waiting for Zai to make his move up. He's got a level 2 Burrow Strike now, but he's not going to get in range.
Oh, they had a fissure on mid, but he Sleight of Fist dodged it. That was great. Nice play.
Universe, getting caught out. He just orbed down. Starts with the Void. There is actually no crippling fear, but that damage with the movement speed thanks to Nighttime. It's Q who finds the kill while bo3 did most of the work.
Nice positioning from the Night Stalker. Perfect positioning. Sumail gets yet another rune.
He got a haste rune this time around.
Universe didn't even cast Phase Shift. I think he wanted to wait for like the salve into a Phase Shift for a little bit of extra.
Sumail wants to. He can just walk up and haste up, Echo Slam, and kill off OP.
I don't know if that's enough damage. I think he'd have to have a pre-enchant or a double right-click.
To hit the Echo Slam, then the totem straight after, hit him, and then fissure.
Yeah, it's unreliable. I think it's a little risky at this point. You don't know who's behind him. Like, Night Stalker could TP in, and even like a simple crippling fear could destroy him.
There's your haste rune to fissure, gonna block him quickly. Universe has the orb available, so they should have enough damage. In fact, Samael brings the totem down on top of the Night Stalker, who was playing around with the Crystal Maiden, as well as the SK in the jungle.
He went for phase boost over treads. Normally you'll see the treads for even more strength, so you get the 400% on that, but with the enchant totem, And the phase looks like he just wants to chase people down and run away. It's fairly important, I would say, versus Night Stalker, but definitely unexpected, I would say.
I'll say Burning wants to try and push the issue against Universe. Universe very underleveled. Compared to XXS, like XXS is 5.5. Universe is sitting at just over 3 at the moment on this puck. And if Burning can zone him out of the lane, he knows he can keep him down, but he's come too far forward. Zai, Burrow Strike's available. Burning, whirling actors. Well, he's given the mischance up. They have a little bit of extra help. Shallow Grave is up and running. And this is the issue of EG. They understand they can try and fight this, but they won't find the kill. Instead, it's going to be the mid lane where the Ember Spirit will fall. And Sumail, he did commit the Echo Slam this time around.
Man, this is going to be a really rough game for OP. I think they have a lot of instant disabled too. One really good thing about Earthshakers is instant cast Echo Slam. Excellent at stopping a hero like the Ember Spirit, and then you have the instant cast Waning Rift too from the puck, and then the instant cast Sand King Sun. So you have 3 instant cast disables to stop the Ember Spirit. And yeah, they have a Dazzle, but Dazzle can only do so much. You need this Ember Spirit to get very farmed so that he can actually tank it up and isn't worried about dying for the entirety of the game. Luckily, they do have the LC for press the attack, but I still fear for OP's life, especially considering his early game start.
Yeah, he's not having a great time. There's that sleight of fist dodge again from on the Fisher. But bottom lane, it was actually XSS who managed to find himself an Invis rune. Thought he might have attempted to go onto Sumail. Maybe this is the other thing we can look at from IG's perspective. How do you start locking down the Earthshaker? Can the Legion actually do it? Just blink in?
How does Earthshaker
get the duel off?
How does he have so much HP? 12, 20 HP? What on earth?
You doing the math?
He has 3.2 strength gain per level? I didn't realize his strength gain was that high. He just has phase and magic stick and he has 1220. This is before level 10. And then once he gets level 10, he's gonna have like 1500 HP. That's really difficult for these heroes to kill. Like even with a duel and an Ember Spirit and a triple remnant, it's not a guaranteed thing.
So you rack up the health. Do you go the movement speed over the damage buff? Considering how much damage he's going to be outputting, and if he does go for like a full crit build.
I think you want to be able to one-shot people. I would go for the 50 damage. You don't attack that often, but you just want to be, like, especially if you get a crit later. I don't know if he will, but those multipliers, that maths.
Ah. Gonna look fantastic for him later on. For the moment, again, back to a little bit more of a passive kind of lane. IG, Burning is going to go in for the Vlad, so that may be our first point of contention. It's going to be around Roshan. Nice little place to fight if you are Invictus Gaming. Even though your team fight's not terrific.
Their team fight's the worst. It is so bad this game. Like, I actually don't know how they take team fights. Unless Puck is super underfarmed, because they don't have a good way in. But Sand King with an Infest Bomb already inside of him looks like somebody is going to eat it.
Yeah, they need the vision. Bobica, he's actually going to be the one to get called out. They'd love the oh wait. OP put down a Spirit just a little bit in the low ground. Night Stalker 10-stick charges. He's going to get him off in time. Around the corner, even the Shallow Grave from Q. So the initiation comes in from EG. But IG able to have that saving grace. OP ready to fight thanks to the aggressive ward behind the tier 1 tower. EG are very aware of what they're up against.
Who's going to go in?
No one. Burning's already leaving. He's headed back up to the top lane. If anything, Q may try and go for a denial. But no, that won't happen either. So EG take the tier 1 tower in mid. IG will not contest for now.
This is really bad. They're getting so much out of this mid lane, and Ember's just like staring at them, knowing that he can't do anything. So they're going to have to rely a lot on Burning to get back in this game. As you mentioned, the Roshan going to be very key for them. Bottom lane.
Up. They're going in.
Dude, Puck is broke.
Yeah, he's got nothing. He's the ultimate sacrifice in this matchup. He's actually your 3 position is the lowest net worth on the field, but it won't matter if Sumail can carry you. And a blink forward, hits the Echo Slam, then a quick follow-up from Universe. They give him something back. He actually got up to 5.5 level from that kill. It's a full level and a bit from that 1 kill on the Night Stalker.
But this is an 11-minute blink versus an Ember Spirit who doesn't have anything. And Ember Spirit is like so far behind the Earthshaker in terms of net worth. That's not good. 2,000. That's the full blink. Even if you take away the blink, they're still even. And now they will continue to siege some towers. And Universe, as you mentioned, is almost level 6, so he can actually start contributing. And I think that kill gave him treads. Ooh, nice. The change up from the Ember Spirit, going for the physical damage build.
Understanding the issues.
A prize.
Doesn't really synergize with the Veil at all, but
yeah, I must say, like, he goes for the Talon upgrade, but he doesn't go for the magical increase. They find Crit out of position, missing a little bit on the abilities. The extra silence will be there. Spirit committal forward, but thanks to the one charges, Crit will be able to survive in the Burrow Strike control. OP needs to get out of here as Spirit. It's not far enough away to keep him in a safe zone. Wow. So he just walks it away instead, and Samael cannot get close enough for the blink. Now he can. Fissure coming off cooldown, 1 second, and now he can let it go, but needs to see OP. The Fissure will connect, doesn't have enough for Enchant Totem, and the Searing Chains holding him back. He actually did have enough for the Totem. He had 3 1 charges available, but decided not to use it.
That was so close. That was probably like, that Totem was right about to smack him in the face. I did like that play to throw out the Remnant. He didn't have mana to Remnant, but he played it like he did. That was a pretty cool mind game. I guess he doesn't really lose anything. The worst thing that happens is you just die, and your Remnants would recharge anyways.
Yep. And he actually uses the Remnant to get back to the front lines.
Yep.
So nothing of value being lost. RTZ should be able to take out this top tier 1 tower, or maybe he can't. Bobrik's going to wrap around from behind, but RTZ gets the Rage off, starts his run away. TP, Rage will protect him long enough for it.
It doesn't feel like it's nighttime if you're EG. EG are still like very aggressive around the map, moving around the map, sieging towers, split pushing out lanes. Like, no one's very scared of this Night Stalker at all, just because they don't have the heroes to back it up. Legion Commander doesn't have Blink yet, Ember Spirit has no items, so everyone's actually just running away on nighttime for IG. That's exactly the opposite of what you want to happen.
Well, the scan hit from the Radiant. They know that someone was around here. Samael has the Infest Bomb ready to go in queue. Oh, he's going to be on the receiving end. There's your Totem, and okay. That hit hard. That hit so hard. Dazzle has no time to react to that.
That's not even max enchant. The armor on the Dazzle is good, but only if you give it time to stack up. When you just take a full enchant hit at the start, you are going to be in for a rough time.
And because you're getting Samael being so aggressive across the map, Universe is able to play catch-up. 8.5 levels now for him. Pushing towards that Blink Dagger, as he said, because of that kill on bottom lane, he was able to complete up his treads.
Normally a puck would be scared to do this, though. You'd be scared of dying to Ember.
Bottom lane is over on the live stealer. That weave came out very, very late, but the control time should be enough with the silence. They ensure they get the kill onto RTZ.
Super important kill. Unfortunately, they did not get dual damage, but an important kill nonetheless. RTZ overestimated his tankiness with the armlet and being able to perhaps infest in an offensive creep, but finally IG get a kill during nighttime.
It's the first reveal of the Blink Dagger too. They needed to make that work, but EG are coming down ready to fight. Samael's headed down south, Crit with him under the cover of smoke. And IG are not going to get involved in this fight.
Too many Blink Daggers.
Oh, Bobrik's probably a little too close. Actually broke the smoke on Samael. Jukes it around the tree lines. The Observer one. He moves around the Nova. Can't fly over the hill. He got frostbitten up. Oppress the attack. Might be able to give him enough speed to get away from this epicenter of Zai. Not to mention the shallow grave. But another frostbite already back up and running. He's got no stick charges. Tries to make it to the shrine, but will not reach it. Meanwhile, up on top lane, the Dream Coil committed, and it's an RTZ bomb. Working to kill off OP, using Universe's silence to catch him, and then into the mid. Samael Echo Slam, Totem Stomp it up, and there goes Burning. 3 picks on 3 different lanes.
Yeah, they can't split push. They can't fight during nighttime. Their team fight is awful. Roche is their best avenue, I would say. I don't know how they sneak in Roche, but like, maybe get pickoffs too with the LC and hope that EG aren't together. That seems to be the most likely 2 options for me. Perhaps farming Ancients a lot too. They were doing that with the Troll. He does have Vlad for the sustain, but things are getting out of control really quickly, and this is with only 1 Blink Dagger now. Blink Dagger number 2 is online. Zai going back to base to fetch it.
Yeah, he was able to get so much space to farm up too.
Yeah.
Like even at the start of the game, his early rotations didn't have to be that heavy. So he just focused on sandstorming up the jungle a little bit here and there.
Normally, if you see a couple heroes on the map, you're safe, but I think like Lifestealer plus Earthshaker, Lifestealer plus Sand King, Lifestealer plus Puck. Any of those combinations can solo kill anybody on IG. So that is a really bad sign when you need to see 4 of the 5 heroes to feel safe to split push.
That Observer scouts out OP's position. Burning is the closest one. And Samael is ready to fight with a Haste Rune bottled up. His positioning is going to be perfect. Maybe bottom lane instead IG can start their initiation. And in fact, it looks like for now, OP will be holding the mid, and Trolls, okay, now he's just moving to safer territory. Samael, there's your blink, Burrow Strike. Into that first little pop, and Samael, the totem damage finishes off OP, but the duel, it'll begin on the live stealer. They'll send the Night Stalker up. That's the fresh Yule Scepter going to work, and on the backline, Stancil, Samael controls him perfectly. Zai's Epicenter hitting perfectly on Bobica as well as Burning as well. They're all dropping down low. No one's dead just yet, but when you get a 2-man fissure, they can move themselves up, catching out Q. Samael's got a triple kill. XXS had to stay his ground just because of the Dream Call, but Samael ain't done yet. An extra Burrow Strike. Do they give it to him? No, Zai will actually take the quad from him. But IG are all pushing up the daisies, 13-2, and I would say this is a stomp, but doesn't really show it enough. This is a slam from EG.
I see what you did there.
We start calling him the Jordan now.
It was too easy. He's like playing a bunch of high schoolers. Basketball. Just running circles around them. Well, one thing I will have to say about IG is that I particularly think they play that well around the LC. I think that's actually one of their worst offlaners for XS. I don't think he's particularly bad at the hero. I just think that they need a team fighter for him, or else this happens, where you have heroes that don't do anything. Burning likes to farm on his troll. Mid, that was not a good matchup for the Ember when he picked him in the first phase, so you needed a big team fighter in that off lane. But they banned out the Magnus.
Emberstead again.
They banned out the Darkseer.
Oh, they just let it go. The Echo Slam from Samael. Crit Yui needed just a little bit more damage in case the defensive spirit was there. And because Samael went for this early Yule Scepter, his control is unbelievable, his movement speed is great, and his damage is through the roof, and he does go for the plus 50 damage talent. He now hits at 109, plus 74, and with the totem, it's plus 510 on this Earthshaker.
Yeah, imagine if he actually builds any strength items too. Right now, he doesn't have any strength items aside from the wand.
It's like he understands he doesn't even need it.
Yeah, but there's like future synergy. You see this and you're like, okay, what if he does have more strength, or like a strength build, or what if he does have like some sort of minus armor on his team? Like he would just annihilate people.
He's actually
given this sort of start.
I'm trying to work out like how much is, like, can you crunch the numbers for the damage when he also has the Shadow Blade too? So totem into Shadow Blade and to just walk in.
Yeah, it's
does that one hit the dazzle?
I don't think so. He has 3 armor, so it wouldn't one-shot him. But you could do. The thing about it is like you get like a Shadow Blade and enchant hit, and then you get like an enchant cast again, and then another hit. So that's probably like 1500 damage if unmitigated by armor. It's pretty nice. If you get to that point.
So basically, IG are boned if Samael is able to get his initiation off, which they can't really stop because that's an instant stun from the Echo Slam. Or Shadow Blade gets him in the right position. So Burning continues to farm up.
I think they need to bait out OP, use the press the attack so he can slight immediately after, and then you start the fight out from there. That's I think one of the better ways for them to start off the fight.
Epicenter, Zai down the bottom lane, goes onto Bobica. Support's coming in the neighborhood as Samael, stomp, smash.
Yep, 20-minute Beyond Godlike.
Oh, the duel.
What?
It's
he doesn't have any damage.
But where's your follow-up? Here comes your spirits. They all jump forward. With the Searing Chain, Sand King will end up falling. And the blink, Samael actually just managed to dodge the Poison Sting, so he can stay on the front lines, keep pumping it out, and OP, Shallow Grave will buying him time. A Spirit to the other side of the fissure, they'll Yules him up. Samael's timing a little bit off, but they're still there. Sleight of Fist dodge, OP can't do it. Arteezy gets the claw into his back. Oh boy.
Too much single target on the side of IG. Aside from Ember, but as we've seen, Ember has just been food.
Yep.
And LC still has no dual damage, never a good sign. And Samael looking to hunt more people.
There is one man who hasn't been in any of these engagements, and that's Burning. Yeah. The only thing he's been giving over is Battle Trends, and is continuously farming towards his BKB, now only a recipe away from it.
Well, he's on the right page. I don't think they can fight.
Yep.
And they just need to sack some heroes. You put an elusive hero like Night Stalker. He has better vision during night. He can fly places. He can just like void some range creeps and push out the lanes. If you lose him, not a big deal. You use darkness to farm and make it harder for the opponents to gank as opposed to using it offensively.
XXS needs to get himself out of here
He's
now.
in a good spot.
Q's in the neighborhood, so he should be able to shallow grave him and protect him.
He's also close to the shrine.
But I don't know if he can survive long enough. Okay, there's your blink. The smoke will break. Q actually gets the weave off on EG, who are trying to be aggressive under this smoke. This is also the reveal of the Shadow Blade. And that's what Samel's looking for. He's going to walk straight into Q. Now we test the theory. Fissure, blink, totem, done.
Dire's bottom tower.
Too easy.
Hero down. He is building into a medallion at least. That will help a lot if you can preemptively cast it before a hero gets whammed on by the enchant totem.
Samel's looking for a kill. The actually just triggered again. Echo Slam straight away. Burning is the man who has been avoiding EG so heavily, and finally he is caught out by EG. And that may be a ticket to go high ground. 42 seconds without a buyback. The tier 2 tower bottom lane just fell, so Artis is bringing in the creep wave there too. It's being attacked on multiple sides, and you've still got the initiation without Epicenter, however.
They lost 3 ults that last fight for the troll, so this is likely just a test to see how IG are going to actually react.
Well, no buyback yet. They chipped the tower.
That's good enough. All they need to do right now is protect that ancient area and make sure Burning doesn't get Roach. I think one of the times Earthshaker, he like Shadow Blade into Roach just to double check, because that's, I would say, the only way that IG get back in this game, barring some like fantastic team fight where EG go in 1-by-1 or just botch all their ultimates.
Are IG actually going to smoke on top of that Observer ward? Like they're sitting on it. Q doesn't actually have smoke on him. There we go.
Yep, that's a smoke.
Yeah. Perfectly
So
visible. EG were baiting in the bottom lane. They were hoping to find themselves a fight there. But with the movement from IG, you just hit daytime. So if they're going to force this fight, they actually have to trigger darkness, and that's the biggest warning bell for EG.
Smart for EG not to try and lay a trap, though, because they still could have potentially died. Not everyone's there, and if they had Echo Slam, potentially they could have set a trap for like a beautiful 5-man combo, but normally the players do place an uphill ward as they go into the jungle so you don't get jumped like that. There's like a slight possibility it would have ended up very well for EG, but I think a more likely chance that it would have been disastrous. So now they set up a good network of wards, 3 of them near the south side of the map, pretty deep in the EG territory, so that IG can finally potentially get some information, finally maybe get a dual kill for XS, and maybe even sneak in a Roach for Burning.
Samel. That sentry ward just got planted. He'll walk in range. They can see him. He'll blink out. Does the Shallow Grave come off? There's the silence from bo3 in the corner. But Universe Stream Call holding Q and OP in position. Samel going to get dusted up as well. They need to keep that vision up on him. But the Burrow Strike from Zai. He doesn't need the sentry. The Shallow Grave from Q. It comes off in time, but Arteezy looking for the kill on OP, and they will leave the Dazzle to die. There was nothing more IG could do to save him.
And ever vigilant, 2 EG heroes staying around the Roach pit, and with the medallion should be a pretty easy task for them. Earthshaker's actually very good at doing Roach, I would say, if you have someone to tank. The stun lock mitigates a lot of damage, and he actually has quite high physical and magical damage. Seeing a lot of perks for this hero.
All right, IG. You got no. Well, you do still have the shrine to go to?
No, that is not a fight. Their team fight's terrible, remember? The only way they can take Roach is if they sneak it, or if EG get a pick, or they get a pick off on one of EG's heroes. But straight 5-on-5,
but now you're
no
going to
way.
have EG barreled down the lane. They're going to have Aegis the Immortal. They're going to go straight for your racks. How do you stop this?
Well, better to lose the game in like 10, 15 minutes where you still have a shot of them messing up as opposed to complete suicide running into the pit. The chances of them winning the fight
Samel, bottom lane blink, Echo, and it is an easy combination onto OP. He burnt through the Flame Guard as well, but the Echo Slam damage did more than enough to get the instant hold and just lockdown stuns.
Yeah, he had, what, 3 Aftershocks there? 3 Aftershocks is 450.
Echo says, oh no, he got fissured and he's trying to jump in. Blade Mail's up to Samel, tries to find an opening there. Now they're going to lose their Dazzle in the mid as well.
I don't even think it would have done anything. He would not have won a duel anyways.
And dead on bottom. Legion dead. No way he survives that one.
You can't cast Enchant when you're dueled, so he doesn't actually do that much damage. I need the right click. So that's a very poor dual target unless you can burst them down with some of your other heroes, like Ember. Well, now just pretty much going through the motions of ending the game, waiting for IG to move outside of their base or just get slaughtered inside their base.
Yeah, this is inevitable for IG. If they hold this, it'll be a miracle. OP silenced up, Arteezy with all the damage, the Fisher from Sumail. He's 13-0-9 on this Earthshaker. Not too shabby at all. Looking for a little bit more, Burning slowed up, but they get back behind the tower.
This is why you need flexibility in the draft. Like if you only play Night Stalker support, if you only play Ember mid, you're going to be in for a tough time. And even after EG picked their heroes, we weren't exactly sure who was going to go where.
Yep.
Because they swapped it up, and it was still unclear. Earthshaker could have been a support in this, Sand King in the off lane, could have been Puck in the off lane. There's many options. The only hero that is static is the Lifestealer and the Crystal Maiden, I would say.
And now you actually start to beg the question even further, going through this tournament, like, is EG going to be easy to read it when it comes to the draft? It was one of the things I know we were talking about in the ride here. Is like, does EG have issues going through the winners bracket? Normally, they're the ones that adapt to the meta of the tournament. This time, they seem to be setting at least their own one.
That's the reason why you see teams like EG and Newbie, they value these heroes like Sand King a lot more than other teams because of the multiple role flexibility and the Puck. Like a lot of teams have been first phase banning the Puck because it's just too much of a mind game to figure out where the hero is going to go.
Yep. Here's the smoke from IG. They're going to come down and see if they can wrap around behind, but Zai's already broken the smoke. They'll dust up, but they don't see anything. bo3 too slow to get the flight. And it's the Observe Ward that was just on the hill next to him that revealed it all out. Now they jump forward. The Echo Slam from Sumail. It hits beautifully. 2 are down. Crit will put the icing on top of this EG cake. And Burning, well, put that BKB to work. What can he do? Go on to Arteezy. That's not the target he wants. Zai's back in again. So Sumail, slam him down. Triple kill. And GG, you bet your Nelly it is. 4 heroes gone for IG. The game was lost 10 minutes ago. EG have just slaughtered Invictus Gaming in Game 1.
Yep, that's when you just chalk off to, okay, they need some more time to warm up. They need to reevaluate what the hell is going on at 7.06 and 7.05 that they just cannot grasp at the moment. 28-3, that is even worse than the 22